Welcome, class. I hope you all are doing well. I am really excited to be discussing and continuing our discussion on figurative language. As previously discussed, we have talked about metaphor, we've talked about simile, and we talked about alliteration. But today we'll be introduced to a new concept, which is personification. So, with that being said, let's talk about what we'll be doing in class today. So, our goal today is to be able to identify personification in poetry. So first, we're going to define what personification is. Then we're going to do a couple examples. Then we're going to demonstrate that we can identify personification in a poem. And then we'll have our journal questions. So with that being said, let's talk. So when you think about personification, what are some things that come to mind? Okay, that's okay. Go ahead. Yes. Okay, that's good. Good. You guys are going in the right direction. Yes, exactly. One more. Okay. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Yes. So with all the input that I just got, let's just summarize the input that our classmates brought up. So we said that personification has to do with life. So with personification, we think life because the word person is in personification. You know, when we think about people, we think about life, right? And also we think about words. You know, we've been learning about figurative language, and figurative language can be the spoken word and it also can be the written word. So that is a great point you guys made. Also, personification makes writing stronger. Just like with simile, metaphor, and alliteration, it adds a sense of personality in your writing or in your speaking. That was an amazing point. And then it's something to do with people. Again, person in the word personification. And then persona has to do with people. Your persona, the image you want to portray. These are all great suggestions, ideas. And then lastly, speaking. So personification could be the written word and the spoken word. And another word for spoken word is verbal words, or speaking verbally. So those are all great examples. So let's all just give ourselves a pat on the back. So good work. Okay. So now let's define what personification is. So personification is, would anyone like to read? Okay, I see everyone's shy today, so I'll read the definition. Personification. The definition is when you give an animal or object qualities only, and so let's really pose on that only a human can have. And before we move any forward, I want to check in with you all to see if you guys are understanding what's going on right now, what we're talking about in regards to personification. So give me a thumbs up if you're good to go, and keep moving. Give me a thumbs sideways if you need a little more examples to understand what personification is, or just we need examples, right? Or thumbs down, I'm lost, I don't know what's going on. So is it a thumbs up? Good. Thumbs half, I need a little bit more information, and thumbs down, I am just lost. Okay, so I see a lot of thumbs up, I see a lot of half thumbs, and I don't see any thumbs down, which is good. So let's keep going and let's get some more examples going. So first example would be the wind whistled throughout the day. So to you guys, which word really sticks out that you would think only a human can possess? Go ahead. Correct. Whistle. Only humans can whistle. Okay, wind really cannot whistle. I'm sure some animal can possibly whistle out there, but when it comes to wind cannot whistle, right? Only humans can. So, but wind, when wind blows, or goes through trees, there may be a sound similar to wind. So it's making that comparison to the sound of a whistle, to the wind going through the trees like the image portrays here. So great job, great work. Second example, the car was suffering and was in need of some TLC. So which one of these words, or more than one word, do you think has to do with humans? Anyone? Okay, go ahead. Correct. Suffering. Suffering is a human quality or animal quality in a sense, but not in regards to a car, right? Um, a car cannot suffer. A car is a non-living thing, right? Humans can suffer, animals can suffer, but a car cannot. So when they say a car was suffering, what do you guys think about that? What do you think the suffering means? Okay, go ahead. Yes. Um, exactly. Suffering means this car maybe needs a tune-up, or it's just broken down. It's just tires are flat, engine's out. There's no water in the radiator. There's nothing. It needs some support. So, could someone tell me what TOC might mean? That is close, but TOC means tender love and care. So the car needs just a little love, and little love could just be going to the auto mechanic shop. So those are great. Thank you for your input. So let's move on to one more example. So which of these sentences uses personification? Is it A, Mr. Devontae is as tall as Shaquille O'Neal? B, Amy Adams ate an apple? Or is it C, the cat struts across the room like a supermodel? Okay, before we answer these questions, I'm gonna allow you guys to think, but also think about why some of these are not correct. So I'm gonna give you guys about 15 seconds to think, talk to your neighbor, to discuss which ones you think are correct. So let's whisper and share with your neighbors and talk about which ones you think. Okay, so which ones are not the answer? Go ahead. Yes. B. Okay, Amy Adams ate an apple. Totally not correct. But what is it? Could anyone tell me? Anyone yell out? Alliteration, exactly. Amy A, Adams A, ate A, and A, apple A. All the same A sound. Ah, ah, ah. Awesome. Well, no, which other one is not correct? Anyone? Say it. A, yes, correct. Mr. Devontae is as tall as Shaquille O'Neal. First, that is a lie, but it's also a what? Simile, correct, because they use the word as. And so that leads the correct answer being C. My cat struts across the room like a supermodel. Perfect. The cats don't strut in a sense like a supermodel. It can be compared to a supermodel, but we're giving human-like qualities to a cat. Cats have legs, but they don't have long legs like humans. So it works as a personification, and if anyone can tell me what else it works as, that's 5 bonus points. You. Yes, you. Joseph. Yes, a simile. Perfect. That is 5 bonus points. Let me make a little quick note of that. All right, moving on. Now we're going to read Shel Silverstein's poem, What If? So, I'm going to read Shel Silverstein's poem once. I'm going to allow you guys to read it once independently. And then, while we're reading the poem, I want you guys to highlight where you see personification. And then we're going to review it, and then that will lead us into our journals. So could Stan pass out the poems for me, please? And as we pass them by, I'll start reading, and then we'll read together, and then you guys will read independently, and I'll walk around as you guys read to offer support and help, and just let me know. But I'll start reading now. Okay. What If by Shel Silverstein. Last night, while I lay thinking here, someone has crawled inside my ear and pranced and partied all night long and sing their same old what if song. What if I'm dumb in school? What if they've closed the swimming pool? What if I get beat up? What if there's poison in my cup? What if I start to cry? What if I get sick and die? Okay, so I read, so now it's your turns to read. So I'm gonna give you guys about 30 seconds to read and highlight. If you need more time, just let me know, and I'll give it to you. I'll be more than willing to give you that time, and we'll go over it. Okay. So, What If by Shel Silverstein. So, when you guys went over it, did we highlight some what ifs crawled inside my ear? Please raise your hand if you did. Who highlighted some what ifs crawled inside my ear? Okay, all right. So most of the class highlighted that because what ifs cannot crawl. Correct. What ifs cannot crawl inside our ear. What ifs are just thoughts, right? What ifs are thoughts that try to break into our ears in a sense, which is another personification. We use it all the time. Another one that I highlighted was pranced and partied all night long. Who highlighted that? Okay, not too many of you highlighted that part, but I understand because it's a separate sentence, but we have to understand that the sentence still goes along with the what ifs. Prance and partied all night long still is attached to the describing the what ifs, and that's why it's still personified. And last, I highlighted saying their same old what if song. So what ifs can't sing, right? But they're loud like music, right? When we have what ifs in our mind, they kind of stay in our head like a song, a catchy song, right? Okay, so when you guys are done correcting your worksheets, please pass them forward so I can have them, write your name, and so I can have them. Okay, moving on, pull out your journals, and so we can write down our journal questions. Be sure to date and write your name. And here are our journal questions for homework. So questions to answer in our journal are, how did the poem make you feel, right? Think about what ifs mean to you, which is the last question. What are some what ifs in your life? You know, what are some what ifs you think about? Some things that you just don't know, but they kind of consume your mind sometimes. And especially during quarantine and COVID, what are those what ifs for you? And then, do you think personification made Silverstein's writing more interesting? Yes or no? Let me know. So that'll be your homework today, and thank you.